Good afternoon. I'd like to introduce you to my Education 407 final project. This is Reducing the Carbon Footprint by Keith Giacomo. So, as my driving question that drove me to ask was, how can we reduce our carbon footprint? So I basically developed this Webquest around that question. So in my introduction, I basically give a short video of the effects of a carbon footprint would be a soda can, but its long-term effects and how long it would take for it to decompose. It's a little more of an eye-catching way of for the students to see the effects of this. And it's a brief explanation of basically the carbon footprint is your lifestyle's effect on the environment. So moving on to the tasks page. On the task page, I did set it up a little bit. The roles are blended because I wanted each of the students to be able to assume each of these roles, as well as this project to be able to be performed by a solo student if needed. So the roles are basically the researcher, research assistant, intelligent design creator, and project manager. And as the students work through this Webquest, they will assume each of these roles throughout the project. So I give a brief description of each of the phases and then the presentations. The phases are broken up basically in an awareness phase where the students learn what a carbon footprint is, sources of carbon, and the way that basically their actual footprint, what they're worth. And then in phase 2, the students are going to go back and they're going to research again, but now they're going to research ideas to reduce their impacts at home, and both at home and at school. On both phase 1 and phase 2, I've included an itinerary of what they're going to be required to do at each of these stages. I feel it is important that the students are aware of what they have to achieve and what they have to look forward to. Helps them to be better prepared, I believe. The finally is to get into the presentations. The presentations we're going to be doing, I'd like to do some sort of a video or PowerPoints, a multimedia presentation of some sort. The created videos can be quite a bit shorter than PowerPoints. PowerPoints can be a little bit lengthy. So in doing this, each of the students are going to have to do a graphical organizer to be able to allow the class to track their presentation, as well as each student will be responsible for evaluating each of the members in their group, and this will contribute to the participation points. In the rubric, I've included basically some points that I really did want to highlight on. Were the requirements met? Requirements being the blog posts. There's a lab report that's required in this project. There's several key points to assess them at. As long as the requirements are met, the content shows that they're knowledgeable and can even show that they've gone beyond what they've been expected to learn. Their sources are reliable. How original were their ideas? Their presentation, was it eye-catchy? Because I want eye-catchy. I want things to be memorable for these presentations. And then the attractiveness of the presentations as well as participation with the group. So those would basically be the rubric points that they'll achieve. And then as for the teacher resources page, these are all various links. Basically the Google searches for what a carbon footprint is and the ways to reduce it at home and at school. A few extra videos that I was able to find, a couple of reduction videos, and then links for their presentations. So video creating Cloudware, as well as the WordPress for their blog posts that they are going to be required to make. And that will conclude my Webquest.